In the frozen heartlands of Siberia and the far north, where the wind howls through endless forests and the sun creeps over the horizon for only a few hours each day, the Soviet Union carved out its darkest empire, the Gulag. Between the splintered birch trees and beneath endless snows, an archipelago of misery sprawled across 11 time zones, a network of labor camps built not for reform, but for inexorable punishment. For decades, millions of men, women, and youths disappeared into these shadows, condemned for crimes both real and imagined, swallowed by a machinery of fear that ground hope to dust. This story is not simply about statistics or faded photographs. It is a journey into the haunted bones of the Gulag itself, a place where history and horror are indistinguishable, where legends of vanished souls haunt the broken barracks, and the line between cruel reality and the supernatural blurs with every midnight scream. Tonight, we descend together into icy ghosts, forgotten lives, and the agony of an empire built on terror. Chapter 1, Arrival in the Gulag. Imagine the endless journey by cattle car. Prisoners, huddled together under threadbare coats, listen to the rattle of steel wheels and the muffled sobs from the darkness. The air smells of filth and fear, thick with the sweat of 40 bodies pressed together and the sharp tang of despair. Men with hollow cheeks, children with eyes that never blink, women who clutch at memories, these are the passengers on the one-way train to the edge of the map. Arrival comes with a cruel finality. The doors burst open. Armed guards bark orders in sharp Russian, their faces covered by frostbitten balaclavas, eyes hard and unyielding. Prisoners stumble out, blinded by icy wind and the glare of spotlights, stumbling through knee-deep snow onto cracked, concrete platforms. Above, barbed wire glitters, a halo for hell. The first sight of camp is like a vision from a nightmare, tall guard towers, each manned by men with rifles silhouetted against the pale sky. Rows of wooden barracks crowd together like broken teeth. Smoke rises, not from warmth, but from the furnaces that burn memories, letters, even clothes. The ground is trampled and frozen, stained with footprints and forgotten blood. Chapter 2, Daily life and horror inside the barrack. Reality sets in. 12 bunks to a room, 4 bunks high, the air thick with mold and coughs. Light bulbs dangle, swaying in the draft. At night, the darkness is absolute, only the rhythm of coughing reminds you that you are surrounded by the living. Prison uniforms hang loosely from every frame, ragged tunics and stiff boots several sizes too large. Every face here is gaunt, eyes sunken, skin pale as parchment. Most are political prisoners, their real crimes spoken only in whispers. Some are criminals, some teachers, some mere children. In the morning, the guards storm in with lashes and shouts, yanking prisoners to attention. The weak are trampled. The sick are ignored. Breakfast, a bowl of watery soup with a scrap of black bread. Lunch is the same. Dinner sometimes includes fish, the bones and scales only. Hunger gnaws at the soul, turning friends into scavengers and strangers into enemies. Everyone dreams of escape, and everyone knows it is impossible. Work begins before sunrise. Prisoners shuffle in rows toward the forest or mine or factory. The cold pierces every inch. Bodies ache, fingers freeze, and boots shatter on rocks. Overseers stand with rifles, barking orders under falling snow. Crosses hang from some prisoners' necks, hidden under collars, a secret act of faith in a land where hope itself is punished. Every day brings a new humiliation. Shaven heads, stripped dignity, searches for hidden letters or forbidden items. The guards are omnipresent, their laughter the cruel music of power. Prisoners pass silent codes, carve messages into walls with nails or stones. Sometimes, they find old carvings, "Remember me, alive January 19th, save us." These are the only proof that those who vanished ever lived. Chapter 3, The Work and the Suffering. At dawn, the world outside the barracks is silent except for the crunch of snow underfoot and the distant, metallic clang of the gates being unlocked. Prisoners tumble out into the pale morning light, their breaths rising as fog against the bitter cold. Their faces are blank, a mask of resignation that has been carved by years, months, or sometimes only weeks of relentless struggle. The work details are announced in rapid, angry Russian. There is the timber team, sent deep into the frozen woods with little more than splintered axes and rough-hewn saws. The mine gang, their faces smeared with soot, march toward the gaping black mouths of tunnels that breathe poison into the frigid air. Others wade into freezing rivers to haul stone, or drag wagons across fields of ice with hands bloodied and raw. Each job is a battle against nature, a landscape designed to kill, as much as the system itself. Frostbite gnaws through boots and gloves. Men collapse from hunger and exhaustion, their bodies barely distinguishable from the drifts of dirty snow. Overseers watch from a distance, rifles slung casually in arms, their eyes alert for any attempt at defiance. Dogs bark, straining at leashes, teeth bared for blood. Inside the camps, the rules are as unyielding as the permafrost. Whispered rumors spread about punishments: the hole, an underground cell where darkness reigns unchallenged; the wall, where names are erased from ledgers and lives dissolve into memory. Each day brings stories of loss: a friend dragged away for a spoken word, a neighbor who vanished after a failed escape, a woman who died shivering, clutching a faded photograph of her child. But even in this ocean of misery, small acts of rebellion bloom. Secret songs sung in darkness, folded scraps of poetry traded for heels of bread, coded glances between prisoners that kindle a shared hope, however faint. The Gulag cannot crush humanity outright, though it tries with every brick and bullet. Chapter 4, Night, Fear, and Memory. When night falls, the Gulag transforms. The wind rises, howling through gaps in the walls and spearing through rotten planks. Shadows stretch across the barracks, swallowing light bulbs and obscuring faces. Inside, men huddle together, their whispers thin and desperate. Some pray, others simply stare into the black void, remembering lives from long ago, a home, a warm meal, a touch now lost to history. And then the legends resume. It is said the camps are haunted not only by victims, but by those who wish revenge. Guards speak nervously among themselves, recounting ghost stories passed down through generations. They claim the forests are alive at midnight, with eyes that glow and voices that echo among the trees. Men recall hearing footsteps in empty corridors, cold hands brushing across sleeping faces, doors swinging open on windless nights. Superstition runs unchecked. Prisoners hang tokens and crosses from bunk frames, carve desperate prayers into walls beneath their blankets, draw strange symbols in frost on windows, to ward off not just the guards, but whatever else may be watching. The reality is always more terrifying than rumor. Stories abound of the lost, the vanished, the erased, souls swallowed by the system whose names are never spoken aloud again. It becomes hard to tell memory from myth. In the Gulag's world, truth and illusion are allies. Chapter 5, Vanished Lives and Forbidden Legends. Some prisoners simply disappear, never to be seen again. It begins with an unexpected summons. An overseer calls them after dinner, a polite but icy voice. An hour later, their bunk is empty, their meager possessions swept away. Those who inquire are punished: beatings, solitary confinement, reduced rations. Their faces become hazy in memory, as if the frost itself scrubs them from existence. Older convicts whisper about the black vans, vehicles that arrive in the dark, headlights off, doors flung open silently. No one knows for certain who rides in these vans, or where they go. Some suspect secret police, purges, or experiments. Others believe the lost prisoners are taken to special camps or simply executed deep in the forest, their bodies buried where no flowers grow. Physical horror blends with psychological torment. Sleep is a luxury few possess. Dreams are poisoned by fear. At night, the barracks echo with sobs and the muffled scream of nightmares. Some wake and swear they saw figures by their bunks, shadows in the shape of a child, or a loved one, come to say goodbye. These stories spread like plague, amplified by hunger and cold. Within weeks, legends harden into gospel. Chapter 6, The Haunted Forests. The forests around the camps are infamous for their secrets. Prisoners who work among the trees claim they see faces in the bark, eyes behind every branch. Those who are assigned to timber gangs speak of the walkers, apparitions that slip between frozen trunks, appearing suddenly at the edge of sight only to vanish in a blink. On rare, moonless nights, even the guards refuse to patrol the woods. Dogs whimper and cower, refusing to stray from camp. There are stories of entire work teams that vanished, leaving no trace besides a broken axe and a scarf snagged in a bush. Official reports attribute such events to escape attempts, wild animals, or madness. Prisoners know better. Few prisoners ever escape, and fewer return. Those who do are changed. Their eyes are wide and glassy, their words half-formed murmurs and riddles. They speak of voices in the mist, songs that drift on the wind from nowhere, and a terrible, invisible presence that watches all and forgives none. Chapter 7, The Lingering Evil. Decades pass. The camps, some now abandoned, rot into the earth. Tourists and researchers come, drawn by horror and history alike. In the ruins, faded graffiti can still be seen, scrawled in weak hands, "I am alive, remember me, and tell my story." No one knows how many died, how many survived, or how many are still missing, never to be accounted for. But the legacy remains. Locals whisper about cold spots in the woods, cries that travel through the night, and the eternal feeling of being watched. Paranormal investigators record strange phenomena, sudden drops in temperature, glimpses of pale, spectral figures darting through the ruins, garbled voices captured on tape. For the survivors, the Gulag is carried in nightmares. Their children inherit the silence, the reluctance to speak, the need to never trust authority, the fear that history may repeat. Some write memoirs, others try to forget. No one truly escapes. Conclusion: the shadows never leave. This is the story of the ghosts of the Soviet camps. It is not simply a record of cruelty, but a warning etched into the bones of a nation. The past is never truly gone, and the vanished are never truly silent. The Gulag's halls reverberate still with sorrow, fear, and the desperate hope for redemption. Beneath Siberia's snows, in forests gone quiet, in crumbling ruins where the wind sighs through barbed wire, the vanished lives of the Gulag whisper still. They are waiting to be heard.